1054 nuclear tests were conducted from July 16, 1945 to September 23, 1992. 35 of these nuclear tests were conducted during Operaton Hardtack, which occurred from April 28 to August 18 in 1958. These blasts were conducted on islands in the Pacific: Enutak Atoll, Bikini Atoll, Johnston Island, and Christmas Island. The purpose of these tests was threefold: 1. To investigate the development of new types of nuclear weapons; 2. To examine how underwater explosions affected material, especially Navy ships, and was performed by the DoD; and 3. To analyze high-altitude nuclear tests in order to refine the detection of high-altitude nuclear tests and investigate defensive practices for combating ballistic missiles. However, during the period, hundreds of thousands of civilian and military personnel were exposed to radiation emitted during these tests. The military personnel participating in these tests are now called atomic veterans. In addressing compensation to atomic veterans, the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act (RECA) of 1990, more than $1.38 billion in compensation had been approved by Congress. The money went to people who took part in the tests, notably at the Nevada test site, and to others exposed to the radiation. The money was awarded to uranium miners, millers, and/or transporters, $100,000 on-site participants at atmospheric nuclear weapons tests, $75,000, and individuals who lived downwind of the Nevada test site, downwinders, $50,000. But RECA did not include compensation to those who were radiated in Operation Hardtack. Here is more specific information about downwinders. The compensation of $50,000 is to be given to those atomic veterans who have contracted internal cancers or leukemia and lived in specific counties of Arizona, Nevada, or Utah for at least 2 years between January 21, 1951, and October 31, 1958, or during the entire month of July 1962. The counties wherein veterans lived in those states are listed on the website. The Congress did finally pass legislation to provide money to atomic veterans who were involved with Operation Hardtack as well as nuclear tests in the South Atlantic and Amchitka Island, Alaska prior to January 7, 1974. According to the National Cancer Benefits Center, Congress has authorized $75,000 tax-free for those who contracted any of about 20 cancers that are listed on the home page. You can log in to the site to determine if you are qualified. They claim the success ratio is better than 90%. Here is more good news for atomic veterans: they can also apply for disability with the Department of Veterans Affairs (VA). Not only that, the wives, children, and her children can apply in lieu of the deceased relative. Kirk Gladwin has added more important information about the VA. 1. If the VA says no, try again. If it is clear to you that the VA has finally refused your disability, call him at 800.414.4328. He will assist you in getting compensation from the VA that you deserve. As a reminder, the cancers considered to be qualified to receive compensation for exposure to radiation are all internal but includes leukemia. Please distribute to all whom you feel may be an atomic veteran. Good luck to you all. For the web powered by Zergnet, this figure skating move was too provocative for the Olympics. Olympic figure skater handles wardrobe malfunction perfectly. The real reason you don't hear about Leanne Rimes anymore: snowboarder breaks his neck in terrifying crash at the Olympics. Melania Trump's ex-roommate reveals all. Here's who Jackie Kennedy thought had her husband killed.